These all came in the last few weeks asking for some sort of donation or an action of some sort or another along the way. All in the last just few weeks. Well, wait a minute. I think there's something from the Catholic Student Center. I think I'll keep that one right here. Sorry, Linda, wherever you are. There are so many good things waiting to be done. The world is full of needs waiting to be met. On any given day, you could write a letter about this to some legislator. You could join this group or protest this or advocate for that. You could join this board or give to this cause. And all those things would be good. All of them would be good. And I dare say over the course of a month, or at most two, all those things should be on our calendar somewhere, somehow, that we set aside time to do all those things in the last month or two. I think that should be true for each of us. And I dare say all of them are good because they can each lead to the deepening and the extending of God's kingdom on this earth, which is everything I live for. But the truth is, I can't do all that. Given all the needs out there, how do I decide where to put my time, my ability, my hard-earned assets? How do I distinguish doing the good thing from doing the right good thing? How do I distinguish? How does Gary Braun, how do you distinguish from just the good thing from the right good thing? Because there are millions of good things to do in this world. To feed the hungry, to visit the sick, to give relief when the disaster strikes. But not all those good things are the right good thing to do for me in this moment. Given that I'm a mom and I have other responsibilities, or a priest and I have these responsibilities, or a student who each has their own good responsibilities to be taken care of. All those things, though, aren't just the right good thing. The right good thing is the need right there. Right there. The right good thing is the need right there in front of us. It's that person cast to the side of the road and left for dead, figuratively or literally. And we just cannot leave them there and pass by. Never ever. You know, Jesus didn't travel to Haiti one week and then India the next week, only to be followed by a trip to Russia because there were such good things that needed to be done there too. Jesus was so powerful and so effective because he did the good thing that was right in front of him He did the good thing that was right in front of him. And that was the same for this Samaritan in the gospel story today. And as as Deuteronomy put it in the first reading, at the very end of that reading, the Word of God is not up there in the sky. It's not across the sea. It's with you. It's around you. It's right here. It's in your own mouth and in your own heart. And you have only to carry it out. Now, I will say that this puts the priest and the Levite in the most difficult situation. Because it is possible that they also felt that the right good thing for them to do was to continue their responsibilities and not tend to this broken person on the side of the road. But the truth is, you and I have to wrestle with this in our heads and in our hearts. There's nobody that has their life set up in such a way that they don't have to wrestle with this when each of us encounters that man beat up on the side of the road. And for sure it's true. There are some people who think they have needs that really, in the big picture of things, aren't. We have a lot of options coming at us all the time to help. You can volunteer for a board, and then the board or the agency starts to ask you to do more things, and you say yes to those, so because you said yes to those, you do some more things, and then some more things. And how do you decide? How do you decide what to say yes to and what to do next? How do you make that decision? I have a lot of options all the time to do good. But which one is right? Which one is the right good thing? This we know. Jesus did the good thing that was right in front of him. Do we pat ourselves on the back for thinking about doing something good? Or for thinking about doing the right good thing and not actually doing anything? I know way too many who dream a generous life. They dream a generous life. They want to be generous with their life. And they are missing the needs in front of them even now all the time. And so they end up doing actually nothing. And what's more, for many of us here, doing good cannot just be resume building. I recently witnessed the vows of a young couple, both just barely 30 now, who sought and found how they could serve, not just through their careers too, but also in their everyday life. She changed professions so that she could work with disabled kids as their physical therapist. He, I would see again and again over his years here, could not pass really a homeless person on the streets anywhere without stopping for just a few minutes sometimes and paying attention to him or her. That person that was left for dead to most of us on the side of the road by society. We cannot leave that man on the side of the road. We cannot leave that human being on the side of the road. We have to do something, even if it's just call 911, even if it's just call the police. If we're in a hurry to some responsibility, we got to do something. As I was listening to some of the testimonies in the trial that seemingly was resolved last night, this George Zimmerman trial, I think what I was most touched by, what affected me the most, was People who called the police that night, no matter what they were doing, when they heard the scream, they just didn't sit there and keep watching TV and try to pretend like it didn't happen. And little did they realize that voice call would be going out over the airwaves to millions and millions of people would hear their distressed, tearful, frantic voice. But they did it. They didn't stop to think, oh my God, how's this going to mushroom? And it did. But they didn't. Wait. We cannot ignore the need. We cannot ignore the brokenness here in front of us. The need that presents itself, the true need that presents itself, that almost feels like sometimes it finds me. That need seems to have found me. It almost has calling power. That's the right thing to do. Just respond to it somehow, some way, even minimally, but do something. And don't think about it too long before you act. I find the quicker I respond, the better, because I can frankly tell you, if I think about it for even a minute longer, all kinds of fears, all kinds of self-protections of my time and my ability and my assets will creep in again, like they have way too often, sorry to say. The point of this gospel is so clear. Do the right thing first, then do something. And whatever you do, don't leave that person in the ditch there alongside of you on the way to some other good thing. Let's not pass this one by. Because there's another thing we know. Love and compassion and courage and humility get manifested in that moment, in that act of helping that person right here in front of you, that will open up something of heaven for you yourself right then and right there. Something of heaven will be available to you in that very instant. And we will touch into something profoundly human and profoundly divine. And that night at least, we will sleep in peace. There are lots of good things waiting to be done. Lots of good things calling at us all the time. But my friends, let's just do our best to do the right good thing. The real need, the true brokenness, the honest victim, right in front of us. And just do it now.